Chapter 6. Backroom Tensions. The Black Cat, New York Harbor, night. Unlike the glamorous clubs and social venues of the theater district, with their fine food and light entertainment that are frequently visited by the city's social elite, the harbors around New York are largely considered the very heart of the city's seedy nightlife. Filled with back alley bars and clubs, these harbors find themselves occupied by the roughest, downtrodden individuals that the city has to offer. However, these districts have always been dangerous ever since before the end of the Prohibition Law back in 1933. The criminal elements of New York have often congregated at these harbors for their illegal business, whether it's a backroom deal, picking up goods, or disposing of a talkative snitch. Home sweet home for the likes of Hammerhead and his enforcers. After the events that transpired at Coney Island, these gangsters made their way to one of their boss's bases of operation, which also happens to be one of the most popular gentlemen's clubs for their kind, the Black Cat. Inside you would find alcohol flowing, music playing, and showgirls aplenty that would satisfy even the seediest scum. But in the back areas of the club, away from all the lively entertainment out front, is where you would find a darker side of the business. Inside a secret, dimly lit back room, behind a hidden door down in the club's cellar, Hammerhead is standing in one of the few spaces that is lit up, looking into the darkness around him. He never understood the boss's flair for the dramatics, but he can see his uses for intimidation. Both Fancy Dan and Ox are cowering behind him at this moment, while Montana is standing on top of some boxes, admiring the girls dancing above through a small grate in the wall above.
Get down here, you moke.
Oh, come on, boss. It'll be her up in a minute.
It'll be your balls and a vice if she catches you peeping on her again.
The cowboy gangster groans and climbs down to join his fellow criminals.
What's the big deal anyway?
You ain't met the boss yet, have you?
Montana opens his mouth to reply, but stops himself to think on his response.
Now that you mention it, no.
Hope you bought a change of shorts.
Clam it, meatheads.
He gestures over to the far end of the room where they now hear a set of footsteps walking closer towards them from the darkness. Soon a figure emerges to stand right in front of the gangsters. This man was tall and lean, wearing a dark purple three-piece suit along with a black shirt and red tie. Hammerhead steps forward to stand face to face with this uncanny individual. The brutish gangster had always thought this man was ugly. His face is very blank due to his thin mouth, tiny nose, and eyelids so small that at first they look like slits. Adding that his head is completely bald with skin so pale it looked white, Hammerhead couldn't help but refer to him by the nickname he often went by.
Chameleon, where's the boss?
Instead of answering, the chameleon takes out a cigarette case and puts one in his mouth before lighting it. After inhaling the smoke, he looks Hammerhead right in the eye and blows it back in his face.
Son of a...
He quickly reaches into his coat for his piece as Chameleon does the same. But before he can draw his weapon, Chameleon takes out a small radio device. Puzzled by this, Fancy Dan, Montana, and Ox just stare at the device before a deep voice starts speaking through it.
I trust Mr. Smirkadorf here isn't bothering you, Lorenzini.
No, Mr. Osborn. He's not being an asshole at all.
Ah, good. I'm afraid I can't be there in person, since my presence is required elsewhere. I do hope you're here to provide me with some good news from the Green Hornet.
Well...
Speak up. You're mumbling.
Look, boss, we got a little snag there.
Really? I can't wait to hear this.
Over the next few minutes, Hammerhead recounts the events that took place at the funhouse to his disembodied employer. His sit-down with the Hornet, their unexpected visitors, and their hasty departure.
A pity that Hornet refused my generous offer. We'll have to deal with him at a later date. Or at least we wouldn't have to if you had taken care of him then and there!
We're sorry, Mr. Osborn. We had them cornered, I swear, but these masked freaks were packing more than just heat.
One of them was moving faster than an ox at an all-you-can-eat buffet.
And there was this really spooky one that just disappeared. Hey.
No excuses! I am on the verge of creating a new world order, with each of you having a place within it. But that won't be possible if you can't deal with a bunch of nobodies in masks!
We'll take care of it, boss. By the time I'm done with him, that scarf-wearing freak and his spider-punk friend will be having a long life with the fishes. Then I'll show that green Hornet what happens when you cross.
Wait, what did you say?
I'll show the Hornet.
No, you imbecile, what was that you said about a spider?
Those masked freaks we told you about? One of them said something about spiders, and some of the boys saw him jumping around and clinging to walls.
Swinging around on ropes? And talked a lot?
So much that I wanted to smack him with my... Wait, you know him?
At first, his question is met with silence from the device. Then suddenly, a loud maniacal laughter echoes throughout the entire back room, nearly deafening Dan, Montana, and Ox. Soon the laughter settles, and the gangsters listen in to what Osborn has to say.
So, he's finally here. It's been quite some time since that day.
What do you want us to do, boss?
You've said more than just the Green Hornet showed up. There's only one way they could have known about my little operation. That nosy O'Brien.
The DA? How's about you let me and the boys go down there?
No, I need you to take those 3 fools along with Miss Franklin to our operation down south. Mr. Smirgadov here will join you once I have him prepare a special surprise for our new friends.
Right, boss. What about O'Brien?
Send Tombs. I think he deserves a little treat.
More menacing laughter explodes from the device before its connection is cut and replaced with static. At that point, Chameleon turns the device off and places it back in his jacket before leaving, pushing past Hammerhead as he approaches the secret exit.
Heard him, boys. Pack your shorts. We're going south. Hey, Montana, tell Persuasion to get a butt down here.
Yeah, I'll tell her when she's done shaking it up there.
Hammerhead spins around to see that all 3 of his enforcers are packed close together on top of the same boxes as before, and all trying to stare out of the grate in the wall. At which point, all Hammerhead can do is just growl in annoyance. The Sanctum, New York, night. After their adventure on Coney Island, Spider-Man and Shadow were able to return to the Shadow's secret sanctum unscathed, along with a new possible ally, the young Native American girl that helped them out of a tight spot. Currently, she's resting up in the same spare room that Spider-Man found himself in when he first woke up. Not to mention that Spider-Man himself has been keeping watch over her by sitting at her bedside for the last few hours.
Oh, hey guys. Just keeping an eye on Sleeping Beauty here. What? Oh, don't judge me like that. It's not what you think. Just watching over an injured girl while she... Okay, I see your point. Maybe I'll just leave her alone for a while.
The young hero gets up off his chair and makes his way over to the door. Just as he places his hand around the door handle, he hears a noise that makes him turn back around to look at the girl. Turns out she was only wrestling in her sleep, so Spidey proceeds to leave the room, making note of her equipment that he placed on the stand beside her bed, just in case she wakes up. As he enters the octagonal central hall of the sanctum, Spidey closes the door behind him. But as he turns back round, he suddenly finds himself face to face with the Shadow, standing merely inches in front of him. In a blind panic, he leaps up onto the ceiling above and looks down to his mysterious comrade.
Don't do that! You nearly made me web my shorts.
I trust the girl is resting comfortably.
The web slinger drops down on a web line and hangs upside down in front of Shadow.
Yeah, she is.
Not for long. That girl has some questions to answer.
Would it kill you to not refer to her as that girl? She has a name, you know.
And what would that be?
There haven't been many moments in Spider-Man's life that he has been rendered speechless. This is another one of those times, and Spider-Man just had to give it to the Shadow.
Touché.
Shadow then walks around the upside-down teenager and heads towards the spare bedroom. However, he is suddenly cut off by Spider-Man, who leaps over his head and lands between him and the door.
Wait, we can't just barge in and interrogate her like that. especially since she helped us back there.
Time is not on our side. The longer we wait, the more time our enemies have to prepare.
I know, but can't we just let her sleep for a bit? She needs time to recover. Plus, she looks peaceful.
Shadow narrows his eyes, giving Spider-Man an intense stare. This unnerves Spidey a bit, especially since the cloaked vigilante starts to slowly walk towards the teenage hero and stops right in front of him, noses inches apart.
I know we're meant to be on the same side, but this guy really creeps me out. He makes the Howling Commandos look more appealing.
Piece of advice, Parker: never let a pretty face get in the way of the mission.
Hold on, I never said... Wait, what?
Just go in there and wake her up. Bring her over to the study so she can talk.
He turns around and walks away from Spider-Man, leaving him dumbfounded at what the Shadow just said to him.
I never said she was... I mean, she is. What I mean to say... You know, I really hate that guy.
I heard that.
Spidey makes his way over to the room where their guest is resting and opens the door. As he steps inside, he carefully and quietly closes the door behind him before looking over to the bed, only to find that it's empty.
What the... Where'd she go?
He looks over at the bed and notices that the girl's equipment that he placed on the stand nearby has been disturbed and that the twin revolvers are missing from their holsters. Before he can ask himself where they went, he suddenly feels cold metal being pressed up against the back of his neck.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me!
Hands above your head.
Listen.
He hears the clicking sound of a gun being cocked.
Over my head!
He quickly does what he's told.
In case you're wondering why I'm letting people sneak up on me a lot lately, simple. My spidey sense hasn't been going off. So either my trusted sixth sense is past its sell-by date, or these guys aren't a threat to me, despite them all pointing weapons at me.
Where am I? Who are you?
Don't worry, you're safe. You were hurt back at the carnival after helping us, don't you remember?
Where are my clothes?
Wait, is she... No, bad Spidey.
He points over to the folded-up clothes that are placed on a nearby chair.
Eyes to yourself.
Huh?
No peeking.
Okay.
Once again, he does what he's told. He closes his eyes and feels the gun barrel pressing off his neck. Though he can't see, his enhanced senses allow him to tell where this girl is in the room. He can hear the rustling movements she makes while she is getting changed, as both Angel and Devil Spidey appear over his shoulder.
Come on. You know you want to take a peek.
No, it's not right. She's entitled to privacy.
If that was true, she would have told you to scram. Instead, she's changing while you're still in the room. She wants you to look, so go on.
That's no excuse.
One quick peek. She'll never know.
Despite being the responsible, shy, but well-mannered person that Aunt May raised him to be, Peter is still a hormonal teenage boy. So, giving into that natural side of him, Spidey slowly opens his eyes. The sight standing before him isn't quite what he expected. He finds himself staring down the barrel of the same gun that was pointed behind him only seconds ago. Surprisingly, the girl is now fully dressed, wearing brown trousers with a gun belt along with a simple matching tunic and leather gloves. She is also holding a light brown Stetson in her free hand, while her other has Spider-Man covered.
Shoulda known you weren't no thoroughbred.
How did you...
change so fast? Sorry. Girls gotta have secrets, darling.
Darling?
Now, how's about you skedaddle and show this little lady the way out?
Wait just a sec.
He is suddenly cut off as the young Native American girl places the barrel of her gun against Spidey's mask where his mouth is, making it the second time this evening he is made speechless.
What is it about this era? Every time I open my mouth, they make me shut it.
Vamoose, city slicker.
He carefully makes his way over to the door, followed closely by his captor. They make their way out into the main hall of the sanctum, where the girl looks about with interest.
So, what is this place?
It is the sanctum, my refuge.
From out of nowhere, the Shadow appears with his pistol aimed at Spidey's captor.
Okay, before this gets out of hand, let's just...
Before he can finish, the young girl draws her spare revolver with great speed and aims at Shadow. However, he never even so much as flinches at this sudden action.
Careful, girl. You're not the only one with talents here.
Well, bully for you.
In a flash, Spider-Man uses his enhanced speed and reflexes to backflip over the girl, while she is distracted and lands beside Shadow. But in the blink of an eye, their guest is able to turn on her heels and train both her revolvers at the pair of them. The three of them seem to find themselves in a standoff, with Shadow aiming his pistol at the girl. She is in turn training both her weapons at Spidey and Shadow, and finally Spidey is aiming his wrists at the young native, while receiving a funny look from her.
You know, from her point of view, I must look really stupid.
Put your guns down, girl.
You first, Spooky.
Spooky.
You can hobble your lip, Peeper.
What?
Now, how about one of you city slickers show me the way out?
Not before you answer some questions.
Sorry, Spooky. I best skedaddle. Got things to do.
After Osborn?
How did you...
No? The Shadow knows.
The both of them just stare at Spider-Man.
Okay, so I can't pull that line off. Fine.
Look, boys, I ain't throwing in the sponge. So unless you want a hole in the head, you'd better back off.
From the way Shadow is staring at her, Spidey can tell that he is losing his patience. So before things get further out of hand, Spidey decides to end this little standoff.
Alright, that's enough.
He moves to stand right between the pair of gunmen and uses both his web shooters on each of their weapons to clog them up. He then turns to face the surprised-looking native.
Look, we've all got off on the completely wrong foot. My name's
He stops himself and decides to instead take off his black mask and reveal his face to the young girl.
My name's Peter Parker, otherwise known as Spider-Man. I'm a friend. You helped us back at the funhouse, and when you got hurt, we brought you back here to recover. Now, you're free to leave whenever you want, but if it's true that you're going after Osborn, then you should know that we're after him too. We can help each other. You've seen it yourself. He's got an army at his call, and it's stupid for you, any of us, in fact, to go after him alone. Taking him down won't be easy, but we stand a better chance doing it together. So what do you say?
You better not be stringing a wizard, darling.
Stringing a...
Cutaway. In the bathroom of the Parker residence, Chibi Spidey is hanging upside down by the toilet, as the sound of a zipper opening is heard. Cutaway ends. Spider-Man shivers at the strange thought in his head.
Ew, no, I'm not... No, look, I'm being honest with you. I even told you my name. How about you tell us yours?
The native girl thinks on this for a moment before holstering her revolvers.
Cloud. Swift Cloud.
Spider-Man gives her a warm smile, which she can't help but return. She then looks over to Shadow.
And who's your friend meant to be? Apart from being all dark and mysterious.
I am the Shadow.
This guy really needs to lighten up. Oh, I did it again there?
If you say so, partner. Now how did you know I'm after Osborn?
Why else would you have been at Coney Island?
How did you even know about it?
A friend of mine filled me in.
Brian O'Brennan?
How?
He knows. Trust me, I found it's easy just to go with it.
Sure. He's the district attorney who's been investigating Osborn. He told me about the meeting, and in turn I was meant to tell him what I picked up there.
I know Brian. He's persistent and reckless. If he's been monitoring Osborn for a while, then most likely Osborn's picked up on him. And since all of us dropped into his meeting, it's not possible to think that Osborn doesn't suspect Brian's involvement.
What are you thinking?
We need to get to Brian, now!